Service Garage Doors. We are your one-stop shop for all things garage door. From garage door repair and broken spring replacement to new garage doors and openers, we do it all. We're proud to be among the highest-rated local garage door companies in all of Northwest Arkansas. Our highly trained technicians are available 24 hours a day at no extra cost to you. So if you have an emergency, call us today, 479-203-5880, or visit our website at directservicenwa.com. Don't wait days. We'll fix it now.
Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans? Welcome to Tusk Talk with Ty post-game show. Arkansas does something incredible, something they haven't done very often since Eric Musselman has been the head coach at the University of Arkansas, and that's come back from being down by quite a bit. They were down 41-27, down double digits in the first half. It looked abysmal. Wow, I got to give him credit. Muss avoids, what would that have been, a 4-game losing streak to Stackhouse? So he avoids that. I think that's right. 4. They get to move on in the SEC tournament. So we'll be here for the post game for that. Arkansas, it was truly a tale of two halves, and then a the overtime as well. I think. Well, I don't know. That was stunning. I really thought they were going to lose, guys. I thought they were going to get their asses kicked. This was going to be a 20-plus point loss based on what we saw in the first half. Very impressive play in the second half. Again, this is what we talk about when we talk about a lack of consistency from Arkansas. This is the thing we talk about. You just don't see them carry it over from game to game, and you rarely, at least the last couple of seasons, up until maybe some of March, you don't see them put full games together. That was a big complaint last year, if you guys recall. They didn't do it today, but they played one hell of a second half. They didn't put together a full game tonight, but they put together one of the best second halves I think I've seen, all things considered, from since Muss has been here, right? Welcome everybody. Haas says, yo, this is a call-in show, by the way. Anybody wants to call in. There it is. Camo says, fill the Kool-Aid up, baby. I don't know if that's, I'm not going to tell you that Arkansas was, that they were great and that I expect them to play like they did in the second half all tournament long, because we all know they won't, at least not a full, complete game. So again, the link is provided for you guys. If anybody wants to call in, feel free, right? Maybe you still have some criticisms. Maybe you're a little upset because you got timed out in Discord for your nonsensical rants and spamming of Arkansas sucking. Boy, I hate to be that person who lets the moment constantly get the better of them. Game of runs it is. Hey, listen, I thought a particular possession was trash, and I said as much in Discord. I said trash. That's what I said. It was a trash ball. But you also, if you're going to do that, you got to acknowledge the good every once in a while, and that's something sometimes people struggle. They just let the moment get the better of them, and then they vanish when things actually turn around. It's weird how that works out. Shout out to the sponsors, Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. They operate out of Central Arkansas and Northwest Arkansas. Same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes, 501-244-3667. That's the number. We've got a whole page dedicated to the sponsors of this show. By the way, if you know anybody that wants to come on as a sponsor, feel free and tell them, hey, look, man, Ty hooks you up. He also gives you you get a whole Discord page dedicated to your business and the links and your logos, everything provided. But you can go check out DSOs. Go check out Direct Service Overhead's page. You can see it all right there. Hundreds of 5-star reviews, better than best results. Check out their link. And, of course, Odd Soul Craft Bar and Pizzeria on Emma Street in Springdale. Mizzou's coming to town this weekend. Mizzou's coming to town. I'm just saying, I know some of you are going to travel for opening SEC play. Why not go check out the Odd Soul Craft Bar and Pizzeria on Emma Street in Springdale? It's a staple, fantastic pies and IPAs on tap, you name it. They got it. Great environment to watch a game. All right. We already have a call. We have someone calling in. You guys know how this works. I don't know how to do. I'm just not technical enough to. There we go. Boom. What's going on, Lone Sportsman? How you doing, man?
What's up, bro? What's up?
Feeling pretty good, man.
Yeah, man. I'm happy we got the first game down. Couple point win. We need that for momentum for sure. So I'm hoping that we can kind of step it up a little bit on the inside game, and Devo has a good couple games here these next few rounds, man.
Yeah.
And Caleb Batter, I like to see him drive more.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good shooter when he's hot, but I think his dribble drives will bring more of his outside shooting. And, I know they said, it's the end of the year, so they're looking for everybody to been jailed a long time ago. But I think we just lack that. We lack that Anthony Black and that Moses Moody, that one guy, that you can get the ball to and it's going to work,
Yeah.
But Woo Pig Sue, man, and, I'm hoping everything works out.
Absolutely. I hope we get to see a full game put together. And if that happens.
Exactly, because we still haven't saw that all year.
No, we haven't. And they're overdue for one of those. Maybe it'll happen in the tournament, maybe not.
But we really have some ballers, though. I mean, I'm not saying we suck, but we just can't put it together, and I don't know why,
It is crazy. And it's kind of, when you think about a top 8, top 6, depending on what recruiting site you look at, transfer class along with the 2 freshmen and then what you had left over, and to think that, I know saying that how bad they have been is striking. I get it, and it's obvious at this point. We've said it every single post game. But then the other part, which is that they haven't put together full games. They've not done it, and when they have done it, they don't do it in a consistent manner.
Right, and it seems like for some reason they're scared to pass the ball. That's how the turnovers happen. When they get the ball, it's like they're hesitant, 2 dribbles, spin, and then just try to find somebody real quick instead of making, premeditated good passes,
Well, here's what's crazy. Arkansas had 8 turnovers in the first half. One of the biggest changes into the second half was that they only had 1 turnover in the second half. Now, that's according to ESPN. I would have thought it was more like 2 or 3. But according to ESPN, they only had 9, and 8 of those was in the first half.
Right. I caught the last 14 minutes of the game. So, my whole first half, I was fishing. But
hey, baby, ain't nothing wrong with that. Oh, okay. So ESPN did refresh. They had 10 total turnovers. So again, they had their first 8 in the first half, and then just 2 in the second half, according to ESPN.
So we face South Carolina tomorrow, huh?
I think that's right. Yeah, I think it's SC. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That's going to be interesting.
How many games have they won in a row? Or did they drop one at the end?
That's a good question. Hold on. I got you. Someone's going to hit me before I say it, but South Carolina, nope. I'm not going to lie to you, man. Football, spring practice has taken over my life. And
I'm so excited.
With Arkansas sucking in basketball, I just haven't paid as much attention to other teams. I know South Carolina had a good little streak going on after they lost. Yeah, here it is. After they lost to Georgia, they won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight, including wins over at Tennessee, at Georgia, over Kentucky, at Arkansas, and then they've won 4 of their last 5.
Okay.
They
All right, I thought it was something.
This was a game I wanted to watch. I didn't get to watch it, but they did lose to Tennessee 66-59 at home, but then they turned around and they beat Mississippi State on the road 93-89. Okay.
All right, Ty, I don't want to hold you up. I know you got probably other people that want to call in, but can I just ask you one quick question that you can, give me probably about 30 seconds worth of your feedback on?
Sure.
What do you think about DJ Williams talking about that spring practice video the other day when he was talking about, the Bobby Petrino and how they had to have IVs in them and stuff when they get off practice because, they were so tired, and the players now talking about how fun it is. And, have you saw that on Hog's Place?
That. I did not. I must have missed that. No, I didn't see that. I'll have to watch that. Did he post it on Twitter?
Well, it was actually a reaction to the spring camp video, one of his reactions, and he was kind of like, "What the hell is going on here?"
Okay, that might be something worth looking at. Then I will say I've been at every spring camp. I've been at every spring practice. I've heard him hooting and hollering, and I don't want to say screaming, but you can hear that high pitch yell he's got. You can hear it. He's on them.
Yeah.
I don't know about as far as getting IVs and all that. I know that hydration is handled differently at schools over the years because of guys, whatever. But I don't know, man. That's interesting. I'll have to go back and watch that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, go back and check it out. It's just I think he posted it on Twitter. It was just a reaction to the spring interviews.
Okay. I'll go watch
that. Yeah.
I'll go watch
DJ.
that.
Okay. For sure, bro. And I appreciate you, man. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate you calling in, man.
No doubt.
Unbiased Brim, my guy, what are you doing? What's up?
What's up?
Bro, they put together a really good second half.
Yeah, it's just too bad they would want to turn the ball over when they had an 8-point lead with a minute, less than 2 minutes left. True. But
okay, let me take that back. They played 90% of a second half.
We'll take it where it come from. But the last caller, that the DJ Williams thing, I think it's just because his mentality is from a different era.
Yeah, OG.
Yeah, well, that's a shame that 2010 is OG talk. That's crazy.
I know.
But yeah, they're not. Bobby Petrino's not the same coach to some degree, and the era is not quite the same. They're not as rough and tough, and they're not going to do that to you, have you where you throw it up. They'll probably work you hard, but it's just a little softer. It's just a little bit of soft. This the soft boy era.
And keep in mind, 2010, 2009, 2008, Petrino was the guy in charge,
and he was a monster ball butt cheek. Even though he was a cheek. So he's not. I don't think he's quite the same cheek he was before.
Right. Right. What'd you think of this game, man? I want your thoughts, bro. I knew you would call in. I want your thoughts.
Yeah, I happened to, I saw you pop up on the app. I said, let me holler at my man Ty. I let him see I don't look like a Wolverine no more. But they played well in the second half. First half is where's the life at? It was like, come on, guys. I'm like, y'all finna mail it in and go home after one game. You ain't gonna show no spirit.
Yeah.
Second half, it was just it. Unfortunately, we still haven't fully played like a team. It's just been a couple players just executed. You got Mitchell that consistently executes.
Yeah.
You got Battle that consistently executes, and Mark has. Most of the time he executes. Sometimes he makes a little bit of mistakes with his dribble, and sometimes he makes shorthand passes.
Yeah.
But everybody else is spotty. Brazil hit some threes, that was because some good ball movement. But he still looks so feeble though sometimes.
He ended up, listen, I gotta hand out this gold chain. He had no turnovers. He had a double-double. 4 blocks, 2 steals, and assists, 3 offensive boards. That's really hard.
That's what Brazil had?
Brazil. And he was
he had 13, 11. 13 and 11. Is that something like what he had?
13, 12, and then 2 steals, 4 blocks.
Okay, what did Mitchell and Battle have?
Mitchell ended up with 18 points. Battle did have 24 points, and all of his points came in the second half. 18 points, 2 assists, 4 boards, 1 turnover.
You know where you put the Dookie rope chain on?
Help me out. Give me some advice.
You don't give it to one player.
Okay.
You hang it on the raft of the boat of survival.
They found a way. Give it up for the whole team. I might consider that. I really want to give it to Brazil, which is crazy. Like
I'm sorry, homie, but don't do it. You can't do that.
A double, he had 4 blocks.
Listen, yeah, that's cool. But if you look at his full game,
yeah,
if it wasn't for the other players, in some ways, he wouldn't have got those threes he got. Those threes were created by good ball movement for the rest of his teammates. Right.
But I mean, you could say the same about Battle and Mark going off for the second half.
Battle go inside every time and drive in and create his own shot in his own basket. And one is what separated the game at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Battle. For me, if I was to give it to someone, I would give it to Battle.
But what I'm saying though is, I mean, I know he creates his own shot and he's not afraid to drive. That's not what I'm saying. But Mark became a distraction in the second half, drawing a lot of attention from the interior defense because he started to drive and he started to knock down shots. He was 2 of 6 outside. Talking about Mark, he drew a little bit of attention away from Battle in the second half, and Mark went off for 18 points, got all of his points. I shouldn't say buckets, got all of his points in the second half. He was 100% at the free throw line. But I'm telling you, this is tough. Mark goes 13 of 14 at the line. Battle goes 1 for 5 at the 3-point line, 13 of 14 at the free throw line, 24 points, but he had 4 turnovers, which is always that's always tough for me. The more north of 2 turnovers you go, especially as a guard, and someone in his position, I kind of understand because he's always got the ball in his hands. He's always driving. But I don't know. That always brings you down a little bit. The further north of 2
Understood. But I mean, it's easier for Brazil not to have the turnovers because he's the guy that when he gets the ball, is basically for a shot or a move. But it was just a couple. I just remember, you know what it is? It stood out for me. I remember that one drive that Brazil did and that feeble air ball he shot. It just threw me out. It just threw me for a loop. I'm like, come on, bro. That looks so soft. Come on, bro. But thank you, other Mike. Brazil should be averaging those numbers. Amen.
Yeah, I do.
That should be average.
He ought to be close to double every night.
Yeah, it's good that he's on the floor and he's playing, and he's performing to some degree. Yeah. I still am worried about him being able to create his own shot and being decisive when he has the ball in his hands outside of him getting a spot up 3, though. Yeah. That's been my concern. It's like he's a 3-and-D guy, but he's a 3-pointer and a block shot. That's all you're going to get from him, and some rebounds.
I mean, saying that and using his name in the same sentence, isn't that wild? Like, Brazil's a 3-and-D. I mean, that's wild. That's not his role, but he actually showed up. I got to eat my own words, and I got to eat my own words about Ellis. I had people telling me I was a little hard on him in the last game, and it wasn't that I was saying he's a bad player. I just don't like him playing the one spot. Tonight he wasn't as bad. He had a couple turnovers in the second half that I didn't really like, but he had 3 turnovers, just 1 foul, 5 points, 2 assists, 2 boards. I thought, and that rebound he had,
that was big. That
was huge. What was that, under a minute or right around the minute mark in regulation? That was huge. Without that, who knows what Vanderbilt does with the way they were shooting towards the end of that game.
Yeah, because they couldn't stop their guard. Good grief, that young man was getting his basket.
Mignon, good Lord, man. He was making
what he had, 30?
He had 29 points, 6 assists, 5 boards. This man almost had a double-double, but with assists. I mean, that's wild. Only 3 turnovers. He probably played 38 minutes.
And had the ball in his hands all the time. But, yeah, I'm just happy to get the win. I mean, listen, listen, we got to win 5 games. It's not happening. But if we win tomorrow, then I'll be like, okay. It's, we got to at least got to the semifinals of not even the semifinals. That's the quarterfinals of win. Jeez. Yeah, so if we win against South Carolina, it's like, okay, we got a big one big win. I mean, Bobby Bones had me cracking up laughing with the video where he said, "This is unbiased." And he picked Arkansas all the way. Listen, it'd be lovely. It would be a phenomenal feeling if they could pull it off, but I don't see it. It's just not happening.
Well, they got to get through SC, and SC is a lot better than I thought they were or would be this year. I had no idea.
Their coach has been he just coached those guys and put them in the right positions, man. They played as a team.
It's not like he's working with top tier talent. And that's what's wild. And I say the same thing about Stackhouse. Like, I got a lot of respect for Stackhouse. I mean, he's working with bottom 4 conference SEC talent, and the man just always he's got Muss's number 1. He had a 3-game win streak against Muss, which is saying something. It's hard to beat Muss twice, and he has. I mean, he's beaten him 3 times in a row. It may not be with the same roster, but still, I mean, he's just got Muss's number, and he damn near had 4 straight on Muss. But yeah, it's those kind of teams I got a lot of respect for, and the same with what's going on at A&M. Although their talent's better than those 2 teams. So, yeah, if they could get through South Carolina, they could potentially match back up with Auburn. So I think that's a given, right? Yeah, they're going to have to play Auburn and if they get past SC, but that's a big, tall hill to climb. SC is, again, they're not a great team, but they're a really
really solid. They're real well coached, and they're solid, and they're gonna make you earn it. They're gonna make you earn the victory.
All year long, they only lost back-to-back games 1 time, and that was at at Auburn and LSU at home. And LSU was a nail biter. They lost by a point. Auburn rocked them. Auburn beat the brakes off of them.
That's when Auburn was on fire, because then that like a little bit after they rocked us.
Yeah, well, a couple weeks later.
That was later in the season? Okay.
But they weren't playing really good ball, if I remember right, up until that point. It was a little while after that. Auburn just kind of fell off. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. I appreciate you. Links are down below. Support all the sponsors. There's a call-in link if anyone wants to call in.
You got to put a poll in for the Dookie rope chain, man.
Unfortunately, I can't because I'm on Dookie StreamYard, but so far, it's looking like Brazil. So we got Bradley Dixon who says Brazil.
I ain't go dog them out. I'm not dogging these guys out with this vote. I'm not. I'm looking at y'all side-eyed, though.
He's got Brazil. Sean's with you. He says battle for the chain. I don't know if Matt's not wrong. I thought Devo's defense, he did foul out, but I thought Devo's defense was really good. And here's the point Bradley says, Brazil had a fantastic game. Michael Kerper says Brazil looked a lot better. So you guys help me out. All right, here's another one. Farrell, there's a legendary status member right there. He says battle. Mr.
You know what?
Battle.
You know what kind of tells us about Brazil's season? That this game, people are saying it's fantastic, and this should be the norm for him.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Like, we've only seen this a couple of times this year. It's True. I don't know. It's wild. But the 12 boards and the 4 blocks, 2 steals and assists, and 13 points does it for me, though.
I mean, it does say that he showed up. He came to play today. He came. He was in a decent little groove. I think my biggest beef with Brazil is just offensively. He's been looking he's one dimensional. I think that's what it is. I'm just being tough on him. So I'm sorry, Brazil. But I know this is about the basketball team, but you've been at the football practices.
Yeah.
I got 2 concerns, man. How them linebackers and the offensive line look, bro?
I haven't watched defense at all yet. I have not, and that's been a conscious effort because last year I went all over the field during spring camp, and I figured out I only have a few weeks, so I'm spending these first 2 or 4 practices that I get access to with the offense. I haven't had a chance to watch the tight ends. The offensive line, it's tough to say. We haven't seen full pads. Carmona has stood out. I will say Carmona is getting a lot of love. Crawford's been getting bragged on in practice. I've heard Coach point him out a couple of times.
He should be getting up to this point. He's seasoned at this point. He should be getting to a point of performance. But
I was just gonna say it's tough to say anything until we see some scrimmage, right? Until we see them full pads. But the biggest takeaways for me has been, number one, when they go fastball, which are like mini scrimmages, or when they do like 11-on-11, 7-on-7, or 1-on-1s, it's so many throws down. I mean, not a whole lot more compared to when Enos was here last year or what I ever saw out of Kendall Briles. But it is visible to me that these quarterbacks don't mind pushing the ball down the field. It's good to see. I don't know if it's going to mean much when it matters, but We got someone posted in Twitter the other night or in Discord. By the way, you guys need to be in Tusk Talk Discord. Whether you're a Patreon supporter or not, you need to be in there. You especially need to be in there if you're a Patreon supporter. The Greg Swaim show. I don't know who this is, but Scott Drew from Baylor to Cardinals to Louisville is heating up. So I think that was always assumed that would be their first target was over there. So we all know the rumors have been must to Louisville.
I told everybody those rumors was trash. I tried to tell people that. Those rumors was garbage. I was looking at it like I ain't even sweating it. I just think we need to give him a good extension, give him 7.5. Add 2 or 3 years, 3 years on it.
He's got to, and they need to get on it like ASAP. Like I kind of wonder. I said a little while back, if we don't start hearing rumors by late February, I'm gonna start sweating. I mean, here we are mid-March. I mean, so we'll have to see how this unfolds. I'm curious to see what if they do offer an extension. I'm curious what it looks like and how competitive is it in the marketplace. But I say if you can, you got to sign him back up. I mean, I think a lot of people in my Tusk Talk Discord just hooting and hollering about so long, must see ya. I mean, we've got him. Smelly it. Is he in chat?
I think people was dumb about that, man. I'm not subscribing to that. Listen, he has some deficiencies, and I've had some critiques, but end of the day, that's my guy, and I believe that he'll have a bounce back year for next year. I'm keeping my faith in him. I'm not going to throw the whole coach away because of one season. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
Nah.
And I get it. We get mad in the moment. I've been victim of it. Okay. We all have. We've all, especially my younger years, I wanted Houston Nutt fired after losing to Minnesota. I wanted him gone.
Houston Nutt had a couple moments where you wanted him gone. Because, but I'm going to be honest, as much as we love Houston Nutt, we went 8-5 with an insane team. And if I think we had a better coach, we would have been better. Houston Nutt did what he did, but he that year he showed some of his lacking of ability as a coach. Though, but we're gonna leave that alone.
Yeah,
but on this, I know because I gotta get ready to go to work. I predict Arkansas football will be running 2 tight end sets with some nasty motion next year. I anticipate it. The tight end room is ridiculous. I anticipate 2 tight end sets, man. A blocker and a receiver all the time, creating certain mismatches. I see that for this team. Yeah. Offensively, we're gonna be a problem. I'm scared defensively, and the coaches are good, but do we have enough depth to be able to survive in the SEC, man? If we was playing in the MAC, we'd be gravy. But we playing in the SEC, so
it's tough here, and they'll catch you with your pants down in this league now. You used to be able to get away with, having a slightly above mediocre team, going on a little bit of a run in the SEC tournament. That's not the case anymore. They catch you with your pants down real quick. All right, man.
Listen, Ty, till tomorrow, 2:30 your time, 3:30 our time. Let's go Hogs. Woo Pig Suey, come on, get another victory, man. Keep hope alive, y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you too, bro.
Take it easy.
You too.
We got Michael Kerper on deck. What's up, man? Actually, you're at the plate.
Woo Pig, baby.
Woo! What a Michael, tell me how you feel, man.
Roller coaster of a game, but
crazy.
I mean, we drive to the paint more often. Like we were against Alabama in the first half, we win that game easily.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
They settled for a lot of outside, or they settled for a lot of. I thought the shot selection in the first half was atrocious. It was so bad. Contested or uncontested, they just were not good. They weren't good looks. They go 9 of 25 outside shooting. Guys, that's not your game. 36% isn't atrocious, but it's just not who you are. Get those points inside. You got to find a way, whether that's probing with your guards, feeding off the pick and rolls, slashing to the rim, whatever you got to do, you got to find it. So the criticisms on Muss and his offense, whatever you want to call it, it is warranted. It is valid. What do you got for me, man? What else did you think? What did you think of that second half?
I mean, it was good until the last 2 minutes, like the last minute.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm watching the game. I'm FaceTiming my niece the whole time, and I'm like looking at the whole time. I'm like, okay, I need to FaceTime you. Okay, I need to look at the game. Oh gosh, and then
I was so when Arkansas was getting blown out, it was looking pretty bad. The first little bit of the second half, I really missed some of it because we had some stuff going on in Discord.
yeah.
So I'm always keeping an eye on that. I don't know if you're in our Discord or not, but
Oh yeah, I'm Mac.
oh shit, you're Mac. Oh,
Yeah.
bro. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, that makes sense. Michael Kerper. That's right. Okay.
yeah,
So you know what I was dealing with. You saw
yeah.
it. And sometimes I do miss key moments in the game, and I try to have them up at the same time. But I'm busy trying to police them. I've got mods tagging me like, Ty, what do I do here? Like, am I about to get demodded for responding to Kopesky or Judd? What do I do? So yeah, you're right. 90%, like I said a minute ago, 90% of that second half was incredible. Mark went off, man. I guess he had all 18 of his points in the second half. 50% from the floor, 2 of 6 outside, but he was perfect at the free throw line, 4 of 4.
What was Battle at the free throw line? What's he like?
Battle was 13 of 14. I don't know who the hell I'm giving this thing to. This is tough. All things considered, people say, yeah, and Brim's got a point. He said, it's kind of, this should be what he gets, right? This should be his average. He should be close to double-double. I agree. But, dude, I don't know. You could probably say this about everyone that contributed tonight, but I don't know what Arkansas does, especially in the second half, without Brazil's play.
I don't
know.
Like his play. I think it goes to him, in my opinion.
Say what?
I think it goes to him, in my opinion.
You think it goes to Brazil? That's another vote for Brazil. I think Brazil is out voting. Sean says Battle, it is easy.
I mean, it is a tough choice, in my opinion, but
it's tough. I don't know that it's easy. It's tough, and I wouldn't blame if I were someone in chat. I would probably be saying the same. Like, why not give it to Battle? I don't know, man. I almost feel like I need to flip a coin on this one.
Yeah.
Bobby Swain says, "Great until we folded like a chair." You're not wrong. That inbounds. So this was one of those moments where I was dealing with some stuff with Discord. I just missed a piece of that inbounds play. It looked like they were trying to feed. Was it? Who was it? Was it Mitchell? And Mitchell coughed it up. I don't know. It was awful.
That's when I was on FaceTime with my niece, so I was half paying attention.
So I didn't think. I thought when they had that, what was it, about a 5-point lead or whatever it was there in the second half, in the final couple of minutes, I felt pretty good. They might actually pull this off, but I knew in the back of my mind they were going to find a way to screw this up and probably lose it. They survived at least in overtime, and that's really all that matters.
Yeah.
Mark Handel about you're not wrong there. Razorback Rock says Battle. Man. Did Mark Devo did foul out. Yeah, according to ESPN, yeah, he fouled out.
Yeah.
He did.
How do you think we look tomorrow?
Boy, oh boy. Going over these numbers here really quick. Vandy was shooting. I mean, they weren't missing for a good portion of this game, but they ended up 52%, 33 of 63, 6 of 15 outside, 40% off those attempts. It's not great, but it's not horrible. Yeah. What hurt them was the free throw line. They were 13 of 21. That hurt them a lot in this game. Of course, Mignon was unreal. 29 points, 6 assists, 5 boards. I say just, but he had 3 turnovers. He shot 12 of 19. Did he take the most shots in this game? I guess he did. Yeah. Battle was 5 of 12. So Arkansas shoots almost 45%. 9 of 25, again, too many shots outside. Yeah. Shot selection outside was horrible. 36%, 88.5% at the free throw line. Once again, Arkansas gets it done at the free throw line. 10 offensive boards to Vandy's 8. Arkansas had 1 more rebound than Vandy with 36. Another interesting stat, +4 in the assist to turnover ratio. They had 14 assists to 10 turnovers. That's not a bad number. You'd love it if they could have kept it about 9 or 8 turnovers, but hey, you'll take that. You'll live with this. Give it to Devo. That's cold-blooded, man.
Dang.
Oh, that's cold-blooded. Give it to the whole team for not folding, says Philip White. That is interesting. Brazil's rebounds and blocks were too clutch. It has to be Brazil. All right. I'm going to take everything you guys just said. I'm taking it into consideration. The chain, it's got to go to Brazil. It has to go to Brazil. I mean, the man had a double-double, was clutch in the second half with his boards, with his blocks, 4 blocks. It's not very often anybody gets a double-double with 4 blocks and 2 steals. He ended up with tied for the most offensive boards no matter who was on the floor, Vandy or Arkansas with 3. It's got to go to Brazil. It's tough. Battle. It's honestly 1A and 1B for me. And then, 2, 3, 4, whatever. It's Brazil. And I know he didn't have, it'd be a lot easier if he had 16, 17, 18 points. I get that. But most of his play, not all of it, most of his play tonight was fantastic. Battle, what kind of coughs it up for me a little bit is the 4 turnovers. Again, you guys know how I am about that. And Brazil, according to ESPN, I thought it was at least 2, but they say 0 turnovers. I thought he had 2. And I thought I would have counted. I mean, again, I was on and off with the game as far as dealing with Discord and that, but I would have guessed 5 turnovers, but he ended up with 4. Again, that is a big deal. That's the deal breaker for me. 0 turnovers to go with those other numbers that we mentioned. It's got to go to Brazil. And give it up to Brazil. This is the first time all year he's gotten the gold chain. Cut him some slack. I know some of you were like, yeah, well, whatever, Mark or Battle or Mitchell. Mitchell honestly belongs in that conversation as well. He had 6 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, and 18 points. But 0 turnovers, 4 blocks, 2 steals, 1 assist, 12 boards with 13 points. The fact that it was a double-double, that's what edges it out for me.
Yep.
I feel like I attended a boxing match with wait, hold on. I feel like I attended a boxing match with sketch judges. Come on. Oh, with sketchy judge. Okay, I see. I thought that was a shot at Judd. Listen, it's for funsies, okay? It's not like he's here and I'm giving them awards, but it's a tough one. But I got to give it up to Brazil, man. He wasn't perfect, but he played really well. The Hogs are the best to the rest. Nobody can defeat us, says Tercer. There you go. Who thinks Muss is here for the next season? Jay, we have talked about that for weeks. And it looks like we're going to have to wait a little longer.
Yeah.
Man, do you have anything else you want to add?
How far do you think we go?
I mean, you know where I'm going to go with this. If they can match the intensity, the energy, shot selection, the way Tremont Mark picked this team up. I mean, Tremont Mark, the way he picked these guys up in the second half, that's why he's up there. He's 2 behind Battle and Brazil. If these guys can play with that type of chemistry, it helps. Devo does. I mean, I know a lot of people, it's easy to be on the hate train for Devo, but Devo did play some really good defensive basketball today. He may not have been great on the offensive end. And by the way, he finally, I don't know how many threes he's missed. It seems like forever, but the guy made 2 of 3 outside. If there's anyone we're going to complain about shot selection, it's not him. He had 12 points and 3 assists tonight. 2 of 2 at the line, 2 of 3 outside. If these guys could do this, put together, it's going to have to be 95% of an entire game, not of a single half.
No.
Then they could beat South Carolina. They have the freaking individual talent. The problem is South Carolina's team chemistry. That is a really well-coached team. Yeah. They've won some games they had no business winning this year. Very, very good team. Let's not forget they went on the road and they beat Tennessee and Georgia back-to-back weeks. They've won, like I mentioned earlier, 4 of their last 5 games. They lost a close one to Tennessee at home. They won at Mississippi State. We know it's been kind of tough to win there, and they did that. They're coming in. I don't know that I'd say they're red hot, but, man, they won at Ole Miss, at A&M. They beat Florida, who's been on, they've played much better brand of ball lately. They cracked the top 25 not long ago again. They won that game 82-76. This is going to be a tough game, tough matchup. I think I would take South Carolina. I've watched them play a little bit this year. I've probably watched them play as much as anybody else, as far as, anyone else in the SEC that I've watched. They're just a really well-built team. They don't have top 5 talent, but they play top 3 ball. So, yeah. They've got pieces here that are great. They play really good. They could play really good defensive ball. I think they give up something like 65 or 66 points a game. They're not a terrific scoring team,
no,
but they're just really well coached. They play great defensive ball. It's going to be tough, but I would lean South Carolina.
Yeah. I mean, like, my brother, like, unfortunately, he went to Alabama, even though he grew up Arkansas, Trader. But he was at the game too, and he, like, afterwards, like, we were talking, he's like, yeah, Arkansas is a tournament team. If they play like that the whole year, like they played against Alabama, like, we're a tournament team easily. But it's just, we don't, one day we're on, one day we're garbage.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's and that's kind of been the SEC. I mean, there's teams that have just been so hot and cold. Auburn's a really good example of that. It's been a weird year for the SEC, but Tennessee finishes at the top, South Carolina right there with them, and Auburn did finish 13-5 on the year, and they got into some trouble. They ended the season with a 3-game winning streak. They lost I don't remember. I didn't watch the Tennessee game, but I remember reading somewhere that was a pretty competitive game. And then they ended the year with 3 straight, but they weren't against really great teams though. Mississippi State, Missouri, and Georgia, but still it's not bad. That's not a bad way to end the season. So, but there was a little while there where we thought, boy, Auburn might be playing down a little bit. And they found a way back. And again, they're playing pretty good ball. I think they're like South Carolina. They've won 4 of their last 6 or something, or 4 of their last 5. But yeah, man.
Wasn't South Carolina picked to finish last or like 13th?
Yeah. They were. If I remember right, it was bottom 3.
Yeah,
it was bottom 3. If I remember that right.
So they're definitely flip flop of us.
Oh, polar opposites.
Yeah.
I mean, Arkansas top 3. I mean, most people thought that was a top 3 team. I had Blake Lovell on the show a few weeks back, and at the beginning of the year, I had Blake Lovell on from Southeastern 14, and we both were like, oh yeah, Arkansas depth wise, the numbers, the whatever the rotation is going to look like, it's going to be solid because they have all this terrific guard play, Brazile and Mitchell back. There's just not very many teams that'll compete with them with that kind of depth outside of maybe a Tennessee. And it ended up being the exact opposite. Everybody competed with them. Everybody beat them except A&M and Mizzou. So it was, I don't know. Missouri has 5 points halfway through the first. God, you love to see it. You love to see it. So, again, if you're just joining, Brazile got the chain tonight. He earned it. I know it's easy to kind of pick apart some of what he did tonight, but without his effort, and I thought he did okay. He started off okay, and he played a mostly consistent game, and anytime you have 0 turnovers with a double-double, you're going to be up there on my book. So, hey, I appreciate you. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah.
I'll see you in Discord.
Yes, sir.
Cannot believe I didn't realize that was Mac. I'll be damned. He's called in before. That's my bad, Mac. That's my bad, bro. Mizzou standing on business. Oh, my God. They're so bad, and I love it. I love that they're so bad, you guys. 0-18. Oh, and are you kidding me? When you pull up their pull up their ESPN page here. It's just all red L's, bro. Nobody's all that shit they talk, and they vanish during baseball and basketball season. They vanish. At least we're competitive in one of those three. We got them up next this weekend. I swear to God, if they come in here, I'm going to knock on wood. Yeah, right now it's 16-5, Georgia on top of Missouri. Blow them out. Blow them out, Georgia. Just do it. Tusk Talk with Ty, turnaround of the game, the 4-point play by Mark. Yes, where Arkansas took the second half lead. That was huge. Mark deserves a lot of praise for his play, especially in the second half. I agree. I do agree. All right. I think that's it. We don't have any more call-ins. That link is there. I'll give you guys just a little bit. I'll give you another couple minutes here. If you guys want to come be a part of the greater conversation, here's the link for Patreon. That's in Discord. I also release after practice. I do just kind of like my raw response or reaction to what I saw in practice. I'm hoping they go full pads tomorrow morning. I don't know if they are or not, but I hope they do. Mizzou's catching karma for celebrating TB's injury. Oh, God bless, you know. Mizzou, that has got to be the comment of the night right there. Standing on business. Hey, they got some consistency at least, right? They just suck. They've sucked all year. They've cut it in half. They're now only trailing by 8. 16-8 is the score. So we'll see if maybe Mizzou pulls it out. It would also be kind of funny if they beat Georgia too. So, all right, that's going to do it. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to the sponsors, to Patreon supporters, to the folks in Discord. No Kopesky or Judd calling. I was hoping one of them would, but neither one of them. Womp womp. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. One way or another, you're going to hear from me tomorrow. So I'll see you then. Enjoy your night.